Hello and welcome to this video. I am Ala and I'll be making it for Team 6. So far this is our project and we're going to run the coverage test right now. It is going to take about 10 minutes because my laptop is a little slow. Maybe less. After it runs, I will explain the code and how we divided our project. Okay, now we are starting with I believe the facility manager functions. Yes, we finished the admin, now the facility manager. Now we are starting with the repairman. Now we are starting with the user function. We have about 30 test cases, 28 test cases for the registration. I'm checking all the validations. Of course, there are snapshots for everything in the snapshot folder. last test case. Now we're going to register successfully. And it takes us to the login page. The first login failed because we provided incorrect data. The second login will be successful. And it takes us to the user home page. We checked the links, they were all working. Successfully created a more report. And of course we ran the JUnit test files from last time. So we got all green. Our project test coverage is as following. We got 100% in our Mac JUnit. This is for our last assignment. And we got 100% in our Selenium WebDriver. In our model, we got 100% for all the models we made. So if you have a look, everything is green. Where is it? Admin error messages also green. The assigned Mars also, they are all green. Error messages also green, and if we go on, they are all green because we have 100% coverage. Now, as for our project structure, here, let's refresh this because it's empty for now. So if we refresh it, here we have all the screenshots we've made in our project. So for example, let's pick anyone. So admin homepage. This shows us when we logged in and reached our admin homepage. Admin login success. This is when we successfully logged in. So the names are very clear. This is our configuration folder. It contains all the configurations we've made, all the all the configurations. The shared UI map, open please, contains XPath for all the elements in our project. What else do we have? In the Java resources, in the source, we have the functions package. Open please. It has the snapshot function provided by the professor, and it also has the Mac functions. It has the register. They're all common functions. This is the assertion, register assertion to check for the to make the assertion equal functions. The login, the update profile, which isn't necessary because we didn't use it. The create mar function, the assert create mar function, admin search last name function, the facility manager search mar functions. And in our test folder, we created the CSV files. Some of them are not used because they weren't necessary for this project, but these are all the CSV files we used for this project. The Mac folder, these are all the previous JUnit files, also not used, but we did run the coverage. We used them during the coverage test. Now the Selenium WebDriver folder, it contains all the new all the new tests we made now this time using WebDriver. So for example, this is the admin functions. Of course, we were running the test in name ascending order. We read it from the configuration, we got the base URL, we also read the shared UI map. Also, we created a snapshot function object. Now our functions are named alphabetically. So we have admin functions A. Over here we have, this isn't used. So basically these functions are named in alphabetical order. This one over here, it says it does the registration error tests, but since it's not needed for the admin, we just commented it out. So the first one is going to click the register link to make sure that it's working. So if it takes us to the register page, then everything is fine. The second function, which we deleted out, was going to test the registration errors, but we no longer needed it. The third function is basically to do a successful registration. It's going to read it from the admin registration success CSV file. The fourth function clicks the login to make sure it works correctly. The fifth function is to try to log in with incorrect data. Of course, we didn't use that either since it's provided in the user functions test. The sixth function is to log in with the correct data. Also, we read it from the admin login success CSV. The seventh is checking the links on the pages, on the admin page. So it checks all the main header links. So the main login link, the admin home link, the admin welcome. It checks for the admin welcome text. The admin view links checks for the main header, the admin view other users text. We have the profile link, also checks for your profile test. And of course the logout, it checks if we logged out successfully and we return to the main home page. Now we check the view other users functionality. Of course we have a CSV file, admin search last name. It has a couple of test cases to check for the last name. 9, we have view other users function that takes the correct inputs. So here we read the correct inputs from admin search last name correct. And last but not least, we are going to log out from the admin. So we're going to take login success data, log in, and then we're going to click the logout link and make sure that we logged out and return back to the main page of the application. As for the facility manager functions, we did pretty much the same thing. So we check the register link, then we do a successful registration. We log in and make sure we check the login link, and then we log in with the correct data. And then we check the headers, if they all work and take us to the correct pages. Number 8, we search the MARs, make sure that it works, and we read from the search MAR facilities. As we said before, our MARs, when we search them, we either enter if it's assigned or not assigned, and if it's requested or not requested. In the facility manager assigned MAR, it checks the MAR. It allows us to read the MAR list and select a MAR and assign that MAR to somebody. So it's either in this function it's going to not work, it's going to fail, and we made sure of it in this part over here. Now over here we're going to assign a MAR and make sure that it is successful. So we read this CSV file over here, and we have to make sure that all of the error messages are empty. Last but not least, we log out from our facility manager. Now the repairman, we created 2 different test cases. The first test case is which is repairman register. It's to register, to make sure that it is registering and repairman logging in, cancel, logging in and viewing all his header links correctly. The second repairman test is repairman assign MARs. We are making sure that our repairman can read his assigned MARs, since the new repairman that we make cannot read any assigned MARs because he doesn't have any since he's a new user. So repairman assigned MARs is going to read the previous repairman's assigned MARs. So this is a repairman register function. Same as before, we check the links, we register, we check the login link, we log in with correct data, we check the headers, and then we log out. The repairman assigned MARs, repairman, where is it? Assign MARs. We log in, where is it? We log in with the repairman login success 2. This contains a previous repairman from our previous projects, and we make sure that they are all that he logs in correctly, and check his we check his assigned repair page, and then we look for his repairs in the table and view a specific repair. Last but not least, we have our user functions. Also, as before, we check the register link to make sure it's working. Here we do the registration error test, which is the 30 test we saw in our during our coverage run. Each time we read from this parameter file and we make sure that it is giving us the correct error messages. Now we successfully register using this CSV file. Doing the CSV file. Then we click the login link click the login link, and then we make sure that the data is incorrect. We log in with incorrect data, and we make sure that it gives us the correct messages, error messages, and then we log in with the correct data, the one that we just made right now. And it makes sure that it takes us to the user homepage, and then we check all the links for the user and make sure each link takes us to the correct user page. Then we create the invalid. We create invalid MAR tests and make sure that they give us the correct error messages. Number 9, we create a valid MAR and save it in our database, and we make sure that we have no error messages. And last but not least, we log out from the application and make sure that our logout link works. I believe that is it for this video. Thank you and have a nice day.